Hey, hi everyone. Good evening to all. Due to some technical glitch, I was not able to be the co-host, so now it's able. So we'll be starting in the next 3 to 4 minutes. As always, by the time, if any questions or queries, feel free to use the chat for discussion. So I believe yesterday the last topic we covered up for the chat bot. Just waiting for a few more people to join in, and then we'll start. So Harshini, you can reach out to Amar in this case. Amar will be the right person to help you out. So Amar, would you mind please reaching out to Ashni and help her out with the details? Amar, you there? Namita, the data set for today will remain the exact same thing what we have learned yesterday. So the content is the same. So today we'll be using more over sample data and work it accordingly. Amma, are you there by any chance?
Yes, I am there.
Yeah. Would you please help out Harshini with her query?
Harshini, what was the query? Can you drop in chat box?
So she would like to get in connect with you in terms of to understand the further course of action for in detail understanding of Power BI. Basically,
Okay,
to
sure.
understand how to enroll for a DA.
I will drop my mobile number to Harshini.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Or would you be kind enough? You can just post your number. I'll just put it on the screen so that anyone else who would like to ask or have any question, they can reach out to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put in the chat. I'll just post it on the screen. Yeah. So the relationship table, if it is not visible, no worries. So I'll show you. So as you can see the screen. Okay. So if you see that, let's say, for example, if this relationship was not created by any chance, hypothetical example, let's say in my case, it already got created. Let's say it was not created in your case. Let me delete that first. So in such situation, what we do is we basically have an option of making that relationship. So I know that country over here and the country in the sample data are exactly the same, right? To make a relationship, you can simply drag a heading and drop it onto another heading directly. And automatically Power BI will create a relationship for you. And automatically Power BI will be creating a relationship for you. So that way you can make easy relationship directly. Okay, cool. So guys, this is a contact number in case you wish to know further detailed understanding of how to learn more about Power BI, or if you want to enroll into our academy for understanding data analysts in more detail, then please reach out to Amar. The number is shared on the screen, so you can refer in the future as well. So you refer the recording and you can reach out to him directly. Okay. So just minimize it in case. Sure, I'll do that. So basically, let's say, again, this is just repeating the process. So in case if the relationship is not created at anyone's end, and you wish to create the relationship from your end manually, in that case, what can be done is you just have to drag and drop the common field. In this case, I know that country and countries are same, right? So either ways, you can draw country from continent into sample or sample into continent, vice versa. Both will work. Just drag the heading, drop it onto the other heading, but do be careful to drop it on the correct heading. As you can see, there's a dotted line indicating that this is going to be dragged on this particular heading. Drop it. A line will be created in between these two parameters, and once that is created, it indicates the relationship is created. And once the relationship is created, you can use the relationship directly into your visual and output. Okay, great. Okay, guys, we are almost with 180, I believe. Yeah, 165 people. So we normally have around 350, but again, it's about time. So let's get started with the session today. Good evening to all. So today we'll be understanding a little bit more about the visualization point of view. So till now we understand how Power BI and what Power BI can do. But now let's understand in terms of visualization, what and how a visualization works in this case. Okay. Archana, go ahead. What's your question? You can unmute yourself. You can post your question, Archana. You can unmute as well. Okay, I'll proceed further now. So I would request all of you to please create a fresh sheet. Give it a name, analysis. Give it a name, analysis. Once you're done, please type done in the chat box. Great. Awesome, guys. Okay. Now, in the analysis part, what I want is I want Power BI. Now, yesterday we did stop at the AI level output where we are using chatbot to represent our output. But what if I want to understand my visual, or if I want to study my visual a little bit more in detail? Then how do I work it out? So for that, let's try a small output, a small visual here. Requesting all of you to click on a bar chart. That is the second visual from the first row. Stag column chart, which gives you a bar chart. Use it to fill in the half screen on the left side. Samir, referring to digital marketing, I guess Amar can help with that. So Amar, can you help me with the detail, or when is it gonna be?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please drop a message, WhatsApp message on same number. I will help you on the same.
Okay, cool. So guys, please use this number for any queries in reference to upcoming batches, upcoming sessions. So that will be taken care. I'll post this number in the chat as well. Once again. So Samir, I'm just posting the number for you in the chat. There we go. Okay. So as we have this visual on the left side, the table that we are gonna use is a sample table. The table we are gonna use is a sample table. But then again, you see the this continent and world happiness report. Now we'll not be using these. Sorry, we'll not be using these tables anymore. But I don't want to delete them also. Because if I delete them, all the previous visual where these fields are in use will also be eliminated. So I don't want that to happen. I want to work with only sample and I only want to see the sample data here so that I don't get confused. But I do not want world happiness report and continent to be a part of the visual table. But I do not want it to be deleted. In such cases, what we do is we use a tool or we use an option called hide. So when I hide, normally it is not visible only in the report view. But when you come to the data view or the table view or the model view, both of them would be visible. Let me show you how to do it in two interfaces. One, when you are in the report view, you can hover the mouse on the table. By the way, the same option can be done for a single column also. If in case you do not want to show just one single column, you can perform that output. But in this case, we do not want the entire table to be visible. So we first hover the mouse on the table name, and then on the right side, there is a three dot. I'll click on the three dot, and at the bottom, there's an option called hide. As soon as I click on it, the table from the interface disappears. I repeat, it's just hidden. That does not mean it's gone forever. If you come to your data view, if we come to our data view, we will be seeing a eye icon is being cancelled out, indicating the visibility is off right now. Similarly, let's say you are in the data view or you are in the model view. From here, how to hide it? It's very simple. Just hover the mouse on the table that you do not want to see. You'll be seeing an eye icon. Simply click on it and cross it out. It automatically disappears. How do I know it's disappearing? The best way is when you click on the column or when you click on the table, you see the column names are all bright color, bright, bold, black. But as soon as you turn off the eye or as soon as you go to the three dot and click on hide in report view, when you do this, entire heading gets grayed out. The entire heading gets grayed out, and definitely you would be seeing a eye crossed up. You would be seeing the eye crossed up, indicating now this table will not be visible in the report view. And as you see in this three dot, it was mentioning hide in report view. That means it is only going to be hidden in the report view. If you come to the model view, the table would be there, only the eye is cancelled out. Only the eye is cancelled out. And as I said, you can do it for individual column also. Please complete the output till here and do mark up country as country. So this is something that I believe you can do. So complete till here and please type done in the chat box. Yes, today we'll be working on the sample data only. So today our intent and work would all be on sample data. So from here on, everything would be done on a sample data. Anything needed, I'll definitely share it in the chat box. But majority till the coming Saturday or Friday, we'll be learning on sample data. I'll just take a pause of 1 minute here so that everyone can get it done. Okay, I have. Okay, just a search for once again. Yeah, sure, definitely I can do that. So what we need to do here is, one, we have to hide the continent table and we have to hide the world happiness report. And to do that, come to the three dot, click on hide in report view for continent and WHR, world happiness report. Siddesh, we are using the same file that we have used on day one. So we are using the same file that we are using from day one. So there is nothing new added. It's just the same file. So if you remember, first we started with database, the dashboard, then we started with map, right? The same data is what we are using. We have not changed anything here. Okay. So if you have to load the file, basically you have to click on this main screen where get data option is there, get a sample data, and you'll have to try it out. So it is something that Power BI gives you by default. This is a Power BI sample data. In my case, the data is already there, so I'll not be able to see that interface. And to see that interface, you will have to have a fresh file. If you do not have it, then you have to start from scratch. Okay. Okay. Now for the first visual, we already have the sample data with us. So what I'll do is I'll pick up product, put it into the x-axis. In the first day, we were drag and dropping it on the screen. Now we'll be plotting in the data in the correct order. Because I'm using a stack column chart, the first parameter I see is x-axis, which is the text-based output. Y-axis is a number-based output. So in this case, I drag profit. So Power BI has made things easy for us automatically. So let's say if you have visual changes, whatever is a text field will automatically appear in the first frame. Let us show you. If you see here, this is column, right? Column chart. But as soon as I go to a bar chart, you see it swaps itself. Now what I see in the first is x-axis and the second, first parameter is y-axis, which is a text-based parameter. And the second frame is the x-axis, which is a number-based parameter. So automatically the text-based parameter will be plotted first, number-based parameter will be plotted later. So that's the easy way in Power BI which can be done faster. Now, once you are done till here, I would request all of you to please right-click on the product with the highest profit. I repeat again, first, create a stack column chart. Place it on the left side of the screen. Then drag product into the x-axis and profit into the y-axis. You will be seeing a chart getting plotted. Once you see this chart, there is a product with the highest profit. Passio, right? Once you see that, just right click on Passio And on the right click, there will be an option called Analyze. This is another AI based feature of Power BI. Yes, basically you are creating a cluster column chart itself. So this is a stack column chart. So cluster is basically you can have it something like one beside the other. But either way, so doesn't matter which chart you pick up, you will see a right click, and on the right click, you will see Analyze. Either which way, whichever chart you click on, you will definitely see that option. So request you to please right click on the highest value, Passio, and on the right click, you would see something called Analyze. Are you guys able to see that? If yes, please type a yes in the chat. Are we good here, guys? Okay, great. So I'll repeat. So basically, you just have to plot the data. So first, you pick up the stack column chart. You plot the parameter. The parameter is x-axis with product, y-axis with profit. Once you have the bar, you just right-click on the first bar, which is the highest bar, Passio, and in there you'll see an analyze feature. Now, as I said, this case, Power BI has already gone through your data and it starts analyzing the report. There are two types of analysis that you can perform. This is one of them. So once you click on this, you click on, let's say, find the difference in the find the distribution in difference. So basically, just to understand how variant or how the data is flowing across. Click on it. Click on it, and it will give you a study. Basically, Power BI may take maybe 30 seconds or so. It will give you a study provided by Power BI and help you understand how the data is being distributed across multiple set of informations. Right? So in this case, you can see there is a button on the top indicating, depending on what you are selecting, let's say small business, marketing, depending on what your selections are on the segment, you'll see the output. And at the top, it shows you the details accordingly. A small message indicating that output. If you do not want a comparative output, then you just turn it off. You get a standard comparison and a growth based output. If you want a comparative output, then it goes on a comparative level output. Give it a try and go through this output. The best part of this output is that, let's say, one of the visual I would like to have, let's say, I would like to have this particular visual, high, medium, low parameter. I would like to have a high, medium, low parameter in this case. Okay. So this is discount band, right? High, medium, low discount band. I want to have a parameter on this. I want this visual to be a part of my record. I don't know how to create this now. The simplest way would be just click the plus icon here. On the right side of all the visuals that you see, on the right side, there is a plus icon indicating I want this visual onto my page directly. Click on it. And you would see that visual is a part of your record right now. And the visual is the part of your record. It's as simple as that. So any visual, even if we are not aware how to create it, and if Power BI is able to prepare it out for us, we can simply use that visual directly as well, which will save our lot of time. Please try this out at your end. So imagine the amount of time you would be saving now with these methods. Again, this is just one of it. As I mentioned earlier, there's another layer of AI as well into it. I'll come to that. But first, please complete this. Sure, Namita. So basically, I repeat again. So right click on any of the pillars, and on the right click, you will see analyze, find the difference. So click on that. And Power BI will start reading and studying the report. And based on that report, it will prompt and give you the output, whichever output you want to have. Click on that and you can view and study it. And if in case you want that report as an output, just use the plus icon. Make sense till here? Yeah, you may be seeing a negative region. That's because the data is in negative. So depending on the parameter that you select upon, you may have different answers. And that's totally fine. It's all about how Power BI is giving the output. Great. Okay, I can see a cross. Akansha, any question? I see a cross on your interaction. Just please post your query in the chat if you did not understand anything. Okay. I take that there are no questions then. Perfect. Now, this is when you have a text-based output. This is when you have a text-based output. Now, the second thing that I want you to understand is, if you see on the right side of your screen, there is a date. From the top, if you see the fourth field, there is a date over here. And apparently, date has a greater than symbol in it. And this is one of the second feature that Power BI gives you. So if you have a date in your data set, Power BI automatically groups it and give you the advanced function of date hierarchy. Power BI gives you the function of date hierarchy. For example, if you open it, if you click on the greater than symbol, you will see a date hierarchy. And if you further open into it, you will see year, quarter, month, and day as the 4 hierarchical levels. You would be seeing year, quarter, month, and date as the 4 hierarchical levels. Basically, Power BI automatically segregates these 4 elements from a date for us directly. Now, how can I use this to my output? Very simple. You can make a chart out of it. Let's say again, in this case, I'll go with a cluster column chart. Again, doesn't matter what chart you're referring. Cluster column chart. I'll put year into the x-axis, only the year, and profit into the y-axis. Try this out. Try this out, guys. Just 2 years of data, 2013 and 2014. This is the 2-year data that we have plotted. So you have opened the data hierarchy, and in that you have taken year into the x-axis and profit into the y-axis. Simple. Once you are done till here, please type done in the chat. I'll take a pause of 2 minutes here. Perfect. I can see done. That's great. Okay, now once we understand this, now Power BI, when it comes to timeline, Power BI AI works a bit different. I repeat, when it comes to timeline, Power BI AI works a little bit different. Now, how to work it out? In this case, I would request all of you to please click on 2013, hold the control key and click on 2014. As soon as you do a right click now, you would see an analyze, but this time you would see an option called explain the increase. I repeat, if you right click directly on 2013 or 14, you can see explain the increase or decrease. But if there are multiple timelines, you can hold the control, something like this. You can hold one layer, hold the control, click on another layer, and then you can do a right click and understand, explain the increase. It's not possible here because this is not a timeline. But if you see here, I have a timeline of 13 and 14. I have a timeline of 13 and 14, right? So in that case, I can click on 13, hold the control, click on 14. Or let's say if there were 13, 14, 15, I can hold 13 and 15 directly. But in our current output, fortunately, there is only 2. So you can do a right click directly on 14. You can come to analyze, and this time you will see something called find the difference. And you will also see explain the increase both. So discrete and continuous in timeline over here. So basically, let's say discrete is, let's say you have the data of 2013, you have the data of 2015. Discrete means show them individually. 2013 and 2015, that's it. But when you talk in terms of continuous, so continuous means if there is 2013 and 15, 14 will also be a part of it because it's a continuous flow. It's a range, right? So that's a continuous. Kapil, I hope that answers your question. This is something that is actually used in DAX or rather Tableau more, but definitely Power BI also has it. But very rarely we use it because in Power BI we normally go with discrete. It's categorical basically. Okay. Yeah, that it is different in Tableau. Exactly, true. So coming back here, so under analyze, when we click on explain the increase, Power BI starts reading the data from 2 data set and shows you what was the reason of this increase from 2013 to 2014. And the second best thing here is it gives you a collection of chart. If you check at the bottom, you have a collection of chart where Power BI is trying to give you multiple visuals with different outputs. Multiple visuals with different outputs. This is how good or this is how cool Power BI can be for you. So majority of the tasks Power BI take care of it. You just need to implement into it. You guys just need to implement into it. As I scroll down, I can see additional layers, additional information. And the next best thing is there's already a message on the top saying that from 2013 to 2014, the sale increase is around 235%. That percentage increase by how much? All those messages are already provided. And definitely, if you are looking for a chart and you want to have the chart as an output, let's say I want to have this scatter plot, or I want to have this chart as my output. I just have to click on this plus icon and that's it. That visual becomes a part of my record. That visual becomes a part of the record. So let's say I want this particular output to change in high, medium, low. I simply click on plus and that becomes a part of my visual. As simple as that. Once done, I click outside and I have 2 visuals that I can refer into my outputs. I have 2 separate visuals that I can refer into my outputs. As simple as this. Give it a try, guys. So it depends on what content Power BI has. It gives you the data accordingly. If it's a text, Power BI reacts differently. If it's a number or if it's a timeline, Power BI responds differently. So Power BI basically reads through and gives you the output. This is basically Power BI analysis. We are not even started analysis. Power BI itself is giving us all the analysis and the output. Right click on 2014. So Akash, right click on 2014. And on the right click, you'll be seeing analyze, explain the increase. Click on that and you should get the rest of the output. Give it a try. I give you guys 2 minutes to complete this. Once you guys are done, please type down in the chat. So to change the legend and everything, you just have to click on the chart. You just have to click on the chart and automatically the output can be verified. So if you see, it already has X and Y. You just have to change those parameters as for your need. Great, great. I'm just waiting for others as well. Thank you for the confirmation. Windows from okay, the thumbs up and thumb down icon is basically for giving a valuation. Like basically, understand Power BI is also learning from your feedback, right? So whenever you give a thumbs up and a thumbs down, that visual is approved. And basically it means that you are looking for such kind of a visual. Based on that, then Power BI, whenever in future you look for a visualization or an output, it will see the condition that you are needing, and based on that, the output gets created for you. But definitely you will be getting other outputs also, but then this output will be prioritized for you. I hope that answers your question. Okay, great. Anyone else with questions or query as of now? If not, then I'll proceed further with the next output. Okay, cool. So guys, basically these were the extent to what Power BI can do it on its own. But there are cases, there are situations where you will also have to put your effort in creating a visual. And at that point of time, you may have to present your visual a little bit better or format it. So how to do that is now what we'll be seeing here. So I hope everyone is done till here better. So let's start with our visual. So I would request all of us, please click on plus, create a new sheet and give the sheet name C1. That's chart 1 for us. Give it a name C1. That's chart 1 for us. To create a background line, you just have to go into the settings and you'll have to perform that. So under brush, under chart, post selecting the chart, under brush, you have the settings. So in this case, I'm creating a fresh sheet C1 where I'll be dedicating this to create one set of charts. Okay, so let's get started. Let me start with stack bar. So I'm picking up the second visual, that is stack column chart. Not stack bar, sorry, stack bar is the first one. Stack column chart where it's vertically present. So let's understand the fields and the parameters, and let's understand a little bit advanced in this case. How can I make my visualization tell a story? How can I make my visualizations tell a story? Let's see that first. Okay. In this case, we already know that we have a date hierarchy, right? We already know that we have a date hierarchy. So I would request all of you to drag date into the x-axis. And when you do that, automatically you would be seeing year, quarter, month, date in the x-axis directly. Year, quarter, month, and date in the x-axis. Secondly, I need profit as a result. So I'll take profit, or let's say, let me pick up something else. Let me take sales this time into the y-axis. Let me take sales in the y-axis. As you can see, now it's timeline wise sales. So basically every year, every quarter, every month, every day is been spreaded out, and I have a sales report. Please complete till here and let me know if you guys are seeing the same answer. If yes, type yes. If no, please type no in the chat box. So I've taken the date hierarchy and the sales into my output. I repeat, I'm not dragging and dropping this time. I'm physically dragging the fields in the right columns. Perfect. Leela, tell me what's your question. You can raise, you can unmute yourself. Error. Kala, please reach out to Amar for that query. So regarding certification for data analyst, Amar would be able to help you better. So please reach out to Amar and he'll be able to answer those questions. Just drop a WhatsApp to him. He'll definitely reach out to you on that. That's a normal call will also do. So yeah. Okay. Now coming to the output here, if you see on the top right side of the screen, when the visual is there, on the top right side of the screen, you will be seeing some arrow keys like up arrow, down arrow, double down arrow, and a fork, like a, I would say, like the weapon of Aquaman, right? So you'll be seeing something like this on your screen. If yes, please let me know. Yes, okay. If yes, then in that case, please use the up arrow, which is drill up. Please use the up arrow, which is drill up. Click on it and you would see the visualization go back to the year level. The visualization will go back to the year level. Come to the year level output and then take a pause. Namita, that's fine. That's fine if this is the output. I want all of us to please use the up arrow and bring your visual back to the yearly sales. Bring your visual back to yearly sales. Perfect. Now, what are these down arrow? What are these double down arrows? Okay, let me help you understand this first. Down arrow and double down arrows. These arrows are a drill down and drill through functionality, which allows you to navigate through multiple layers of outputs. So let me explain you how and what it is so that we understand this in a detailed output. Currently, we are seeing a report on a year-on-year basis, 2013 and 2014 data. For now, if you click on any of these bar, it just works like a slicer. Right? That's all what we are seeing. But to give an understanding, to give a view factor, I want all of us to squeeze this table half of the screen. Just squeeze it to half of the screen. To the right side, make a table, simple table. Take date into the column. Take sales into the column below it. Just try this out till here. Just try this out. So basically, you will be seeing a report indicating year-on-year data through and through. Let me stretch it. This is the data, full-fledged data. I'll take it this time. So I repeat what I did here. So first, I squeezed my table a little bit. I created a table. The table icon is over here, which is the third last row, fourth visual. Third last row, fourth visual. In that, I took the same element, the date, but in this case, it gave me year, quarter, month, and date. Year, quarter, month, and date, one below the other. And with that, I took sales value, and that gave me the value one below the other for every date. For example, September Q3, so 2013 Q3 September day 1, the sale was 44,000. Sorry, 44,84,000, and so on and so forth, all the way down till the end. You may have a small frame at the bottom which would be empty, and that's fine. You can pick up any other visual over there. Let's say, for example, you can pick up discount band into the legend and profit into the value to show a discount based output, or you can put a funnel chart over there. This is just to understand what happens. When you are clicking on sales value. Sales on x-axis. In this case, sales will be on y-axis because it's a column chart, right? It's a stack column chart. So let me repeat again. What are the things I've done here? One, I have created a day-wise report. So I've taken date into the x-axis, sales into the y-axis for the first visual. For the table, there is no x and y. It's simple columns. So you plot the information, it plots the data into columns. That's it. So in this case, again, I pick up date. I pick the date and I dropped it over here. That gave me day, year, quarter, month, everything. And I plotted sales next to it. And the last visual that I'm using here is a funnel chart which represents profit. based on discount band. So discount band under category and profit into value. So here you will not see X and Y, but the rule is still the same. First field is a text, the next field is a number. So majority times you will be seeing this interface. First will be the text, second will be the number. Please complete till here and type down in the chat so that I can proceed further. Because after this, I want you guys to take a pause of 5 to 7 minutes. Just watch what I'm doing on the screen. So take 2 minutes, complete it, and then we will proceed further. So as of now, it's 52. I'll wait. Oh, 53. So I'll wait till 55. Let's not rush, guys. No worries. We are here to learn. So okay. Just waiting for a few more responses. I only have 3 to 4 of them. In your funnel chart 6M and my funnel chart. Okay, so in my funnel chart, the reason it is showing 6M is because it's been rounded off. So in reality, it is 6.1, yes, definitely. So it's just rounded off. So we not missed anything. It's just that in my visualization, it's just getting rounded off. That's it. And that's fine. That's totally fine. So if I also go to my funnel and if I go to the data values over here and I plot the values here, so display unit values, there are a lot of options, right? So in this case, if I increase my decimal points, even I will be seeing those 6.2 and 6.1. So no worries. So as I said, it's just normal. Okay, okay. So nothing was missed, no worries. Yeah. Okay, so now let's start with our output. I repeat, guys, don't do this with me now. So just understand the flow, understand the process, and then we will proceed further. So here I'll be helping you understand what's a down arrow, double down arrow, and drill through. So firstly, normal situation, your visual works like a slicer. Your visual works like a slicer or filter. You click on 2013, you are only seeing the data for 2013 and the filter reacts for that. Similarly, if you click on 2014, the data is only showing 2014 and so on and so forth. But as soon as you click on a drill down, you activate this button. Now onwards, there is no longer a filter activation. Now what you're about to see would be a detailed version of the report. For example, now if I click on 2014, it filtered down into 2014 and now I am only seeing the data for 2014. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4. So whatever result I'm seeing on the right side is only belonging to 2014. Let's say for example, if I click on quarter 4, keeping the down arrow active. Now if you see it's in 2014 for quarter 4, the 3-month data, October, November, December. And if I click on to December, I only see the one record because in December, there's only one record. That's the first day. This is a drill down functionality. So drill down allows me to go down one layer and see the report accordingly. Let's say to see this difference in color, what I do here is I add year in the legend. So you can see visually what's happening. So if you see I'm using the down arrow, this time I'll click on 2013, which is a blue color. I click and you can see in the visual now only 2013 Q3 and Q4 is visible, and you can see the same in the report over here. If I click on 14 Q4, you would be seeing the 3-month data being plotted, that is October, November, December. Let me use the back button here. If I click on Q3, because Q3 has only 1 month, I only see September month in this case. So basically it helps me to understand or read the report a little bit more in detail. Now coming to the next. Now till the time this down arrow is active, I won't be able to click again, because if I click, it will go into a drill down. But let's say there is a double down arrow here. Now what's a double down arrow? Double down arrow is skip the layer. Is skip the layer or go to the next level. Now in this case, my first level is year. If you see the x-axis, the first level is year, the second level is quarter, the third level is month, and the last layer is date. So I am telling my visual skip the first layer and simply jump to the second layer. So when I use the double down arrow, automatically it is skipping the first layer and getting into the next layer. Means now it's not filtering 2013 and 14. It's rather skipping that year filter and simply showing the result of quarterly report. But quarterly for both the years, because you have skipped that layer. So now what you're seeing here is for Q1, Q2, definitely 2014, because 2013 data is not available. But from Q3 and 4, you see both the years stacked one above the other. Both the years stacked one above the other, indicating Q3 total sales considering 2013 and 14. Similarly, Q4 total sales considering 2013 and 14. If I click again into it, I will be skipping the quarter layer, and now I am seeing a monthly report. As you can see on the right side also, the data for 2013 is only from September, October, November, and December. So only for that last 4 years, the 2013 pillars are available. And from the 14, it's from Jan to December altogether. Now, what do you think? If I click on this double down again, what will be the next answer? What do you guys think? Help me in the chat box with your answers. What will be the next layer? What it will be? It will be skipping month, definitely. Exactly, the date layer. And in this case, we only have one date, so we only see one pillar or one bar. If I had multiple dates, let's say if I had 30, 31 dates, then it would have shown me all the 31 dates as the base. Exactly correct. Now, if I want to go back, I can use the up arrow and I can go back. You can also go one layer down and then use the down arrow to click into that layer. Even that's possible. So that level of output is also possible in this case. So you can have a mix and match of drill down and drill through as well. But the last layer, the fork, filter to the next layer, extend to the next layer. So it's like a fork, right? It's like a hierarchy. So it actually remembers or it maintains the previous hierarchy and then drill down to the next level. So if I click here, you can see your hierarchy is still maintained. So if you see at the bottom, it's quarter 2013, 2014, and Q3, Q4, Q1, Q2, Q3. So entire base level formatting is maintained. You click on it again. Now it's going into a month level, but maintaining the yearly breakup and the quarterly breakup with the month into it. And there's no point clicking in further because the day and month is one and the same. So I just stop at this phase. And this is how your output will look like. So you understand what are the different uses of these down arrow, double down arrow, and drill down, drill through? Yes or no, guys, in the chat, please. Very useful when you are using storytelling, when you are representing the data, when you are trying to explain the data to the senior management and helping them understand how your timeline is going through or what is the change that's happening month on month, year on year. This is very helpful in that case. Please try this out at your end. Take 5 minutes, understand all of it, and please type done in the chat box. I'll repeat all of them, no worries. I'll just do it on a fast track basis. The first down arrow is basically to drill down into the year, and then you only see that click or whichever button or whichever bar you click, only that visual is displayed. That's a drill down, right? Then the double down arrow, which is drill through the next layer, go to the next layer. It skips the layer, it skips the hierarchy and just goes to the next. But here it's not filtering. It is just skipping and adding the value. The last one was the fork icon where the hierarchy is carry forward. The hierarchy is carry forward and the previous hierarchy is also maintained in this case. The previous hierarchy is also maintained in this case. Try this out, guys. So take 5 minutes, no rush. I may have to check. So I'm not sure why the fork icon is looking a little bit different at your end. So it may be version difference, but moreover, it should look like the same. Yeah. Okay. So it might be disabled because maybe you might have gone into one of the hierarchy. So maybe you have gone to a double down or something like that, which makes it disabled. Because at this particular stage, there's no hierarchy that can be created, right? Because it's on a monthly level output. So that can be the case. So yeah, just check whether there is a hierarchy already activated. Yeah. Cool. So I'll just take another 2 more minutes, guys. By the time, please try completing the output. Okay. So as of now, it's 7. 2 more minutes, and then we will proceed further. Max, let's say 8:10. I'll wait till 8:10. If any questions till then, please let me know. And please see also the impact that's happening on the other table, because whatever changes happens over here, it will impact the other tables as well. So have a look of what's happening on the other table as well. Don't just play around with one visual, because after this we will create our own hierarchy. This was something that Power BI has given us. How the fork works again, please. Fork is basically the hierarchy, right? It actually remembers or maintains the previous hierarchy and drill down to the next layer. That's how the fork works. I repeat, once you guys are done, please type done as well. Sorry, please mute. Yeah. Okay, I have one confirmation, waiting for others. How to get the color? Okay, so to get the color, you just have to incorporate year into the legend. As I mentioned last time, anything that gets added into the legend gets colored. So in this case, I'm using year. Now, which year am I using? There is a separate column, or there is a separate field called year at the extreme bottom. You can use that. So that way you can actually show year-wise report. So you can see 2013 is in one color, 2014 is another color. Okay, so guys, time's up. Now, coming to the next argument, what in this situation we already had a hierarchy, right? What if I want to create my own hierarchy? What if I want to build my own hierarchy? Then how do I do that? Okay, but first and foremost, some of us may or may not have the year broken down in this sequence. Let's say in this case, you can see 2013 and 14 is below, then quarter 3, quarter 4, quarter 1. So all of it is a proper formatted one. In your case, if it is not there, you just have to come to the format, and under x-axis you will see something called concatenated labels. Not this one. Just hold on a second. I'm plotting the x-axis, right? Yeah, that's exactly correct. So in the x-axis we have value. Yeah, there we have. Not in the title, but where we go. Yeah, okay, this is the one. Consolidated label. So if you click on consolidate, basically it gives you a consolidated label, but it will be a cluttered one. So in this case, I'll not recommend using this because this becomes too much of cluttered information. So maintain it separately. In case it is not in your case, if your information or your labels are cluttered, just come here and turn it off. Automatically, the cluttering will disappear and you will have a proper label being plotted. Perfect. Now, that's just a small additional info. Now, what I want is I want to create my own hierarchy. I would like to create my own hierarchy here. So what I want is I want all of us to just squeeze down this table a little bit. Squeeze down this table a little bit, half of the screen maybe. Now there is this frame here on the top. Let's use that as our output. Let's pick up a stack bar. Let's pick up a stack bar. Or let's make it simple. Let's pick up a cluster bar. Let's pick up a cluster bar. And in this case, I'm gonna use profit as my base. So I'm already plotting profit with x-axis. Just complete it here and type done in the chat, because I'll be going in phases in this case. Got it. Great, guys. Okay, so now first thing what I want is I want the number to be visible on the screen itself. So I can see the number at the bottom, but I want the number on the bar itself. Now, how do I get that? To start with it, first you go to the brush. And majority of the option would be just on and off. You can scroll down and look for a feature called data label, which in this case is turned off. Just turn it on and that's it. You would be seeing the label on the screen. Now, further to that, whatever you drag into the info, it will be plotted accordingly. Now, let's say, for example, I'll plot the year first. That gives me year-wise breakup. Fine. Then I'll start putting information that I want, starting with product under the year. So when you drag more than one field, into the label or the y-axis, automatically the hierarchy is created. Now let me see, like as you can see, the hierarchy is at the bottom. That's because there is no space on the top. So let me make some space on the top by reducing the height here. So you can see the icons here right now. So when there is only one field in the x-axis, there is no hierarchy, there's no drop down. But as soon as you drag a field, an extra field into the y-axis, you automatically will be seeing the drop down or the down arrow with the hierarchy into it. Now, in this case, as you can drag as much as drop downs and hierarchy, you can get the hierarchy directly created. You'll get the hierarchy directly created. Let me show you. Let's say we already have product. Let me drag a discount band under it. Let me drag country further under it. So I can see the layers are increasing continuously. Let me drag segment to the last. So these are the 5-layer hierarchy that I am creating. I repeat, I've taken profit as my value. And I'm using your product, discount band, country, and segment as my base hierarchy. Please complete it here. Priyanka, tell me what's your question? You can unmute yourself. If not, you can post your question in the chat. Tarak, tell me what's your question? You can also unmute yourself. Okay, I take there are no questions then. Someone had a question, but I lowered the hand. Can you just raise your hand once again? Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Kapil, you can unmute yourself now.
JK, in this last chart, we do not have any table, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then how to find out at what level this data has drilled down?
I'll come to that. That is one of the reasons that I'm not making a table. Although we can simply squeeze and make a table, but I don't want to do that. I'll come to that. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes. So request all of you to please type done once you're through till here. Okay, so I have few responses. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Now, as rightly pointed earlier, now definitely you already are familiar with the drill down. So just to show you, I can use a down arrow. Now, if I click on 2014, I can see the data for 2014 for that particular year, for that particular value, and I can see as the data drills in, I have the results over here, right? To a granular level. To a granular level. But let's say I want to see the report with a tabular format. And that's where, okay, let me just change this into a bar chart so that I can see a bar to bar comparison. In this case, what I do here is to get that output, I would request all of you to go to the three dot. You may activate, deactivate the down arrow, doesn't matter. But go to the three dot on the visual. So let's say when you are communicating, now you don't have a space to show the table. This is where it is used. You don't have a space to show the table, but you want to represent it as a table. In such case, you just go to the three dot of the visual and you click on show as table. And you click on show as table. Automatically at the bottom of your visual, you see a table getting created, showing you exactly what number is responsible to create this chart. What number is responsible to create this chart? Please try this out at your end. Again, please type done once you are at this case. Oh, great, great. Perfect. The only thing in this case would be that the table is at the bottom, the chart is on the top. I would rather want to have this table on the right side and the chart on the left side. In such situation, you just have to click on this right arrow called switch the visual layout. Switch the visual layout. By just clicking on that, automatically the frame switches itself. Automatically the frame switches itself. And now you can use the down arrow drill down to see the table directly. So you click on 2014, you can see the data for 2014 for individual product. You click on a product, you can see for that product what is the discount given out and the discount based output. You can click on low discount, you see regional wise report. You click on it further, you see the report being filtered down to a stage level or segment level output. Exactly. It's more informative. True that. Exactly. So it makes more sense because when your communication is clear, when you are telling a story. So this is all data analysis, guys. So once your data reporting or your analysis is been visual on the screen, you can see that in the screen, it makes more sense. It gives an authority or it gives a comfort that, okay, what you're saying is exactly matching with what the numbers are presented on the screen. That really adds value to your output. Same goes for the fork and the double down arrow. So depending on what layer you are using, your output goes according. But definitely for such visual, I will not recommend using a pie chart because it will become a too much cluttered information. Definitely for a drill down, it is a very good approach. I would agree to that. Let's say I click on a down arrow, I click on 2014, it opens up. I click on the first product, it opens up. Definitely, this is a very good approach. Definitely, no doubt about that. But when you are referring a fork, I would not recommend using a pie chart. In that case, I would rather recommend using a column or a funnel chart or something like that. And once you are done with your explanation, you can simply click on the back to report button and you are back to now. That way you always are, or you will always be able to come back to your main report and continue from where you start. Please try this out at your end. So this is how a hierarchical output or a storyline can be created when you are representing a report. Take 2 to 3 minutes, complete it first. Please try it out at your end so that if there is any question, I'll be able to help you out. So I'll give you guys 3 minutes, guys, over here. So it's 22. I'll wait till 25 max. I guess 3 minutes should be fine. Just play around. You can also make a hybrid. Let's say you can filter down here and then come back over here and filter down the date. So you can make a hybrid also. Just try out all the permutation combination which can come into your head. So until unless you don't explore, you'll not get a flavor and understanding. Priyanka, tell me what's your question. You can unmute yourself. Kapil, go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Tell me what's your question.
What is the difference between slicer and filters, and when it to use?
So slicer is something basically you can put it like buttons. So you see that there is a slicer over here, and we will be learning that in the future sessions. So slicer is moreover like a filter, but the thing is, slicer will slice the data and only that data will be visible. For example, when I click on 2000, let me deactivate this. And when I click here, okay, for the year 2014, this you can consider kind of a filter where you are seeing the report, but you are also filtering the data from the original. So you know that, okay, 2014 ratio in compared to 2030 or the overall. But let's say, for example, when you are using a slicer, you are only seeing the 2014 data. This is what you would be seeing actually. Only that data. That slices the whole data and only slice out 2014 and only that is visible. I hope that makes sense. Like just to understand the difference between filter and slicer. At a major level, that's the difference. But moreover, we can use both of them depending on how you want to present it. Kapil, I hope that answers your question. Okay, cool. Okay, just one more minute. Oh, it's almost done. Mostly we can use slicer in. Yes, you can use slicer. So when you use a down arrow, it's basically a slicer. When you use a double down arrow, it's a slicer. Fork is not a slicer. It's basically showing you all the records, right? Oh, sorry, double down arrow is also not a slicer because it's not filtering or it's not slicing any specific timeline or any parameter for that matter. Okay, great. So now once we understand the hierarchy, now the challenge here is every time I'll not be sitting and creating this hierarchy, right? I understand this is a business requirement. Yeah, you can put it like that to use a subset perfectly done. Yes. Diksha, tell me what's your question? You can post your question in the chat. What about DAX function? So DAX function is basically a formula. So let's say if you talk in terms of Excel, when you use SUMIF, COUNTIF, MAXIF. So in Excel, it is termed as formula. When you do it in Tableau, you consider it LOD, level of detail, right? So the same way in Power BI, when you do calculation, when you do formulas, it's called DAX, data analytical expression. So basically, as of now, not sure whether time permits, we will be able to cover it or not. But let's see. If possible, maybe at the last session, if I'm able to cover a bit of it, or maybe tomorrow, I'll definitely give it an attempt. But definitely, DAX requires good amount of time. Specifically, if I have to say, 4 to 6 hours of the session. So because this is a short demo session, so it will not be covered extensively. But in the master class, that is the actual full-fledged DAS session, that definitely will be covering that. How much type of DAX function? Trust me, there are a lot many. So there are time intelligence is there. There's aggregative functions are there. There's calculate functions are there. Filter functions are there. So there are a lot of DAX functions available. So majorly which is used in the corporate world, or majorly the max in demand are time intelligence, which actually helps you to travel back in time. Yes, we have class till Friday. To change the graph, so basically the easy way is, let's say I want to change this particular visual. Let's say I'm not comfortable with the bar chart right now. Let's say I already have a bar chart here. I don't want a bar chart. So the simpler way to replace, or let's say substitute the chart, is just select the visual, because when you don't click a visual, a new chart is created. But when you click on a visual and you click on any of the existing frame here from the right side, let's say I click on tree map here, it automatically replaces that selected chart into a tree map. So basically that will be the easiest way to substitute or replace a existing chart into another chart of your choice. Jayesh, I hope that answers your question. And with that, I guess Namita and rest, I hope your questions are also answered. Okay, great. Okay, so coming back here, so as I was discussing, so every time I would not be able to create this hierarchy, right? Like I won't be able to create a hierarchy for all the visual. Now to save my time here, so that I don't have to recreate this multiple number of times, what I do is I pre-prepare this hierarchy. Soumya, go ahead, we can unmute yourself. What's your question? Soumya Shri, you there? You can unmute yourself if there's a question. Okay. Sir, no, I'm asking about the. So the slicing that I did in all other is actually directly possible. So when you click on, let's say in this case, when you click on this 2014, it automatically slices down, right? And when you click on the down arrow, it reacts. So basically all these visuals are interconnected. If I click on 2013, it automatically slices down the other data also with it. So it's by default. I'm not doing anything. It's by default happening because these are interconnected charts. I hope that answers your question. Jayesh? Okay. Okay, guys, I believe Amar has actually shared the attendance for you guys in the chat. So I'll take a pause of 1 minute. So by the time, please requesting all of you to complete your attendance. So please complete your attendance by the time. As the clock hits 32, I'll proceed further. And people are done with the attendance. Please don't type done, because the link will go up then. Just give a thumbs up using reaction. So under the reaction, just give a thumbs up once you're done. Great. Okay, guys, I hope everyone is done with the attendance. So proceeding further. So yeah, coming back to the discussion, I want to create this hierarchy. Now the date hierarchy was already there. I want to create the hierarchy that I created just now. Year, product, discount band, country, and segment. I want this particular hierarchy because this is a business requirement, let's say. Now, how do I do this? Now, to create the hierarchy, you'll have to start with the field that you want to have at the first hierarchy. So I know that I want the year as my primary hierarchy, right? So I want all of us to do this with me. I want all of us to do this with me. Shiva, tell me what's your question. You can unmute yourself. Okay. Swapnil, you can unmute yourself. What's your question? Okay, I think there are no questions then. Okay. So yeah, how do I create a hierarchy? The way out to create a hierarchy is go to that field, actual field. Go to that actual field. Hover the mouse on the heading. Hover the mouse on the heading. Go to the right side and click on the three dot. There are a lot many features, like something like, if you remember yesterday we learned, or like few days back we learned about day before, if I'm not wrong, clustering. That's a new feature. Then AI based output is a new feature. There are a lot many features that keeps coming. So features keep changing. So it's all about how we utilize it. Some cases it's about online platform. So features are not limited to, let's say, Excel desktop. Oh, sorry, not Excel, Power BI desktop. It's more on the terms of online. So depending on version to version, settings and settings, the output changes. And if in case you are looking for features, you can actually look into YouTube channels as well. So Microsoft actually has their own channel that is Power BI. There they keep releasing new updates and you can follow through them. So if there are any updates that you want to work upon. Okay, so coming back here, so repeating the process. So to create a hierarchy at our end, I'll share the link. No worries, I'll give you the link. So there are 2-3 links that I can recommend in case you are looking to learn, let's say, a bit more in detail. So I'll refer them. So no worries. At the end, I'll do that. So yeah, coming back here. So on the year field, you can go to the 3 dots. Attendance link. Okay, Amar has already shared the attendance links, so you can just scroll up in the chat and you will find it. Okay. So okay, I'm repeating. So now, guys, I'll not be breaking the flow because I'm going back and through in this. So yeah, going to the 3 dots here, and in this 3 dot, I'll come down on the top. Come from the top. There will be something called create a hierarchy. Now, because this is the first time I'm creating a hierarchy in my table, that's create. But if you already have a hierarchy, then in that case, it shows your existing hierarchy. It will show you the existing hierarchy. So in this case, I'll click on create hierarchy, and automatically a hierarchy will be created with a year into it. As you can see, a year hierarchy is created, and in that the year is already there. Now, when a year is dumped into it, it's a copy or it's a mirror, I would say. So already an existing year is there, and plus with that there is a year hierarchy inside. You can rename this hierarchy by just double clicking on it. And let's say this is let's say DA version 1. This hierarchy is DA version 1. Let's just name this hierarchy as DA version 1. I repeat, to create a hierarchy, just go to the field, click on the 3 dots, and on the 3 dots, you would be finding the hierarchy option. Create a hierarchy. Now, in this case, it's create a hierarchy because it's already been used in one. But let's say if I pick up a hierarchy which is not added, Let's say, for example, I will pick up product. Now, if I go to the three dot, it will show me either you create a hierarchy or you can add in the existing hierarchy. So this way I get multiple options. This way I'll get multiple options in there. So let's say I click on add a hierarchy and click on the hierarchy over here. Automatically that hierarchy gets added into the existing. And as you can see, the product became a part of the hierarchy here. The product became a part of the hierarchy. Dixon, try this method, so it should work. But yes, one thing on the older version, the hierarchy was possible with simple drag and drop. But now they have removed that functionality. So to create a hierarchy or to delete a hierarchy, you will have to use a three dot. There is no other workaround. So older version, yes, there was the functionality of drag and drop for hierarchy. Now it's not there. So we will have to do this manually. Okay. So coming to the second, let's say discount band. I'll go to the three dots again. Add hierarchy, and I'll just keep adding. Now, do remember the sequence that you're adding. That's the order the hierarchy gets created. If you realize, first I added here, then product, then discount band. That's why the sequence in that is in that order. If I switch the order, let's say if I go segment and add the hierarchy, then in that case, the hierarchy order changes. And if the question is how to rearrange, there is no workaround. You'll have to delete that field and re-add them in the same order. I'll have to delete segment first from the hierarchy. Let's say by going to the three dot. And then I have to delete from the model or remove basically. And then I'll have to use it. That's the only workaround to this. Then I'll have to add it further again into the hierarchy and so on. Okay, so I'll just complete it. So segment was done, and let's say I'll add country as well. Add hierarchy, and that's it. Now, once the hierarchy is ready, please type done so that we can use the hierarchy into our visual direction. Please try it out. Give a thumbs up using the reaction if you are done. Just waiting for everyone's confirmation. Okay, great. Now, once it is done, guys, once your hierarchy is created, it's very simple now. So only thing you'll have to do is you'll have to just drag this hierarchy into the field the way you did it for the date hierarchy. But yes, definitely I'll have to first remove the existing hierarchy or else it will be a duplicate. Drag the hierarchy here and that's it. You would see the field getting added. But if you add any new hierarchy into it, let me show you this. Let's say if I add a month into the hierarchy, you would see the hierarchy did add up the month as a field, but it did not become a part of the record because it was created after. So always remember, when the hierarchy is created, it will not get updated unless it has been added into the field. You can add it into the field and that becomes a part of the record. That is a possibility. But always remember this minor change that will happen. Let me delete this first. Yeah. So month name has gone from the hierarchy. As you can see, the model, it's only deleted from the hierarchy, not from the actual table. So please complete till here and type done. By the time, let me help you with YouTube for updates on Power BI. Give me 1 second. I'll just have to look in. So if you search for something like Power BI updates, this is basically the Microsoft website, Power BI, which gives you updates. So let's say you see December 2022 update is there, which is a 5-minute 38 seconds. Then there is a November update. So these updates keep happening here. You see October update 2022. So all these updates will keep coming here. So I'll just paste this link in the chat, no worries. But just letting you know, if you search it also, you will get it. I'll just share the links in the chat so that it's easy for you to track it. So this is one you can refer for. And the hierarchy option is not showing. Why does the organize? Yes, because it's in this case, the year has already been added, right? So if you see the year you have added into the hierarchy, if in case, okay, there can be a situation that you already have the previous hierarchy and the new hierarchy is also added. In that case, yes, you would be seeing both of them added into the list. So just have a check. So that's why I said first remove all the existing field from the x-axis and then incorporate your DA version 1 hierarchy into the x-axis, or else it will become a duplicate. Yeah. Okay, cool. In case you are looking in for additional Power BI, definitely you can also subscribe for our ExcelR channels as well. There are other YouTubers also. So one of them is Guy in the Cube. Again, this is Microsoft people. So in case if you are looking in for more contents, more learning, but at a base level, so you can refer this one. This is called Guy in the Cube. These guys are Microsoft support. So they create basically any new launch that happens. So this is basically MVPs, Microsoft valued professionals. Even I'm one of them. So these are the contents created by them. So you will get the information on that line. So I'll just again share the link with you guys in the chat here. So refer these links for your future access and you will be able to get it done faster. So maybe you can keep it, mark it into your, let's say, bookmark or something like that, and you can have it. I'm also, yeah, okay, you have referred Guy in the, these are good, actually they are very good content, so definitely it will definitely add value to it. Yeah. And this is one that I normally keep creating at times, so you can use this one as well. So in case if any one of you guys are interested, you can, but it's very rare that it's more on Excel, very few Power BI, so you can refer that as well. Yeah. So guys, this one was about hierarchy. Okay, how to create a hierarchy and how to create the output here. Before I proceed further and I take a pause for the day, I would like us to have a very minute, or let's say a very basic understanding of slicer. We will be learning in detail about slicer in the next session. But here for now, I want you guys to have a flavor of it. For that, I would request you to please click on slicer. Please click on slicer. That's the third last row, third visual. Third last row, third visual. And in this, just drag year, or let's say just drag discount band into it. Discount band into it. That's it. So as of now, we are just using this checkbox. That's it. Just keep it in the center anywhere. I'm okay with that. This is a slicer. We will be learning in detail tomorrow. As of now, just giving you a flavor of it. So slicer allows you to play around with information. By clicking on the slicer, you would be able to see exactly a live report as you are seeing on my screen right now. Just by clicking on them, I can see exactly what the sale, what the profit across year, across month, and so on. I can change this slicer. Definitely, I can change this slicer to country also. Let's say, for example, I can drag country in here and remove the slicer for discount back. So now I have a slicer for country wise. Now I have a slicer for country wise. So depending on whichever country I click upon, I can see the result for that particular country. Definitely, if you want more than one, you can hold the control key and you can click more than one. And you can see a live result activating on the screen. And I want to resume back to the original. On the top right, there is an eraser. There is an eraser that allows you to get back to its original form. Repeating again, no worries. Repeating again. To create a slicer, step one is, let me remove this first. I repeat again, we will be doing this tomorrow. Okay. Yes, we can search in slicer. Again, as I said, we'll be learning in detail tomorrow. As of now, just to give you a flavor of what's going to happen tomorrow. Let me save this Power BI file first. So first, I add a slicer just by clicking on it. And then I simply add the field into it. The field I am looking was, let's say, country. Here, I just click on these check boxes and you can see the result directly. If you want more, you can hold control and you can click on multiple also. And if you want to resume back, you can use the clear button here and that will clear the output for you. So this is something that we will be learning in detail tomorrow. And if possible, I'll show you a small glimpse of DAX, how to play with it and how to work it out. So we'll be using a very simple DAX, although, yeah. So that's about it, guys, for the day. So any questions, queries, we can take it up. If not, then I will hand over the platform to Amar over here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. Yes, definitely time for hi-fi, guys. I really appreciate that. So again, as always, if you enjoyed today's learning, you can type hi-fi in the chat box and please do share your feedback in the scale of 1 to 5. So that will really be helpful, guys. Perfect. 10 out of 5. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yep, guys. So see you guys tomorrow then in that case. So yes, over to you, Amar. And Amar, let me take the opportunity to thank you as well. So thank you for arranging all this setup, being here before on time. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So guys, I already shared the attendance link. If anybody is remaining, please mark your attendance and give your valuable feedback. I'm sharing it once again. And if you have any query question, please drop in chat box. Yes, Kapil. Uh, 7 to 9. Good night all. If you have no any query question, then you can leave the sessions. Kapil, if you want more details, then please drop a message on my WhatsApp. We have multiple batches. Every day we have 7 to 8 batches per day. So according to your comfortable time, you can join any batch. Welcome, Vinayak. Guys, don't worry about the certification. I will explain you all the things in the last session. Okay. Bye, Tanay. Good night. Kapil then drop a mail. I'm sharing my mail. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for such a good feedback. Kapil, I share you the mail. Please drop a mail. Then we'll connect on phone. Vaishnavi's query is there. Hello, can you please share contact number as I want to ask some queries? Vaishnavi, sorry. Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah, I shared that way. Shubham, you have two classes at the same time. You need to attend anyone live, and for another one, you can see your recorded sessions because we are just overlapping 3 sessions. Shubham, question same here. If you can share the number, I can talk with you, sir. What about the attendance? Shubham, okay, I'm sharing my number. Attendance 60% attendance is mandatory, so don't about that. Shubham, you can call me on tomorrow. We will discuss on the same. Sambhaji asking for attendance link. Oh, okay. Sambhaji shared the. Guys, anything else? Anybody have any different query? Or else we'll wind up the session. Okay, guys, thank you so much. So we'll meet you on tomorrow at same time. Bye. Have a good night. Once again, thank you so much.